mic? Oh, my bad. Hi guys, it's Ryan, the spiritual cowboy girl, and today I'm talking about who you are outside of who you were meant to be. And the title, I always have to think about them because I always want them to just be eatery. Even if the video ain't eatery, like one thing you know about me is my titles are gonna eat. You know something that I learned probably like 3 months ago when my grandfather passed away was I watched this movie. It's called Mafia Mama. It's actually my favorite movie. One of them, like my top 10. And the reason why it's my favorite is because it's reiterated continuously in the movie that the world is not black and white. Just because something is one way does not mean that it cannot be the other at the same time. And Mafia Mama, she's like a middle-aged woman, like almost 50. She has a son. She's lived her whole life for her son, and she has a deadbeat husband. Lived her whole life for him. Have shared bank accounts. She cooks for him, does everything for him. Her grandfather dies, and she goes to Italy. And she finds out that her grandfather was like in the mafia, and she has to now run the family. Oh my God, is that a poor? My bad. She has to now run the family mafia business. But this lady is a pushover. She's always been pushed over her whole entire life. And so she's being told who she needs to be. From her husband and her family standpoint in America, she's being told that she needs to be a mother, she needs to be a good wife. Her friends are telling her that she needs to only care about herself and forget her kid and her husband. Her kid is like in college. He just went out to college at the beginning of the movie. and the Italians, her family, is telling her that she has to be the mafia boss. So further along in the movie, she's being told by a close friend that is a part of the mafia family, the world isn't black and white. You don't have to be just one thing. And she realizes, damn, I've been living for all these different people, all these different opinions, and I haven't been living for myself. And the video, who you are outside of who you were meant to be, we are always told who we are supposed to be. We are always told what would be best. What would be best based off of critical analytics from people who experience us consistently. Because of their experiences with us and who we act like, the facade that we act like to protect ourselves, they tell us who we're meant to be based off of that. And even so forth, we tell ourselves who we're meant to be based off of what is approved of us, what people feel aligned with when they connect with us. We tell ourselves this is who you must be based off of the connection that you have, based off of what people feel like you bring like gratification into their life within. You have to be that person. From a young age, y'all, I was gonna say groomed. Actually, it's not just, groomed isn't just sexual terms, I don't think. I was groomed, actually. I don't really know another way to say it. And it was so crazy. I had, just like Mafia Mama, it was like 4 different groups grooming me. Like one group wanted me to be a famous musician. Another group wanted me to be just like them, like the worst of the worst. Another group wanted me to just be regular and pass school. Another, like, it was so much. And being like very talented, neurodivergent as a kid, I taught myself what to do and how to specifically be who I was meant to be. And I'm telling y'all, later on, my later years, there's a lot of self-hatred because I step outside of who I was supposed to be, who I was meant to be. There's so much self-hatred that I experience, that I feel. And still to this day, even though it's been like a year of me getting it off of me, still to this day, it's like certain patterns that I have that I feel too afraid to detach from because I feel like somebody's gonna be upset with me, or I feel like I'm not being who I was meant to be. This desire to not just satisfy, but be accepted, this desire to be seen, this desire to fit the mold perfectly, it comes from trauma. But what gets me is, I don't know if you guys have it bad, but what gets me is, my problem is I get so caught up in who I need to be and who I need to sacrifice myself as so that I can be happy and fulfill my life on this earth. And all I've ever wondered about in my life was fulfillment. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, my whole life, all I've ever thought about was fulfillment. Fulfillment for others, fulfillment for myself. I never thought about the journey along the way. It's taken me years to think about the journey towards fulfillment. All I ever think about is fulfillment. It's like a robot that was created just to get you to the last spot. But you want to know something fucking disappointing and actually gratifying in a way? I haven't fulfilled a thing. Like, I haven't really gotten to that 100%. If you really think about it, I haven't gotten there at all. And I have this theory in the back of my head that it's because a lot of this is, if it is what I'm meant to do, I'm not doing it the right way because I think that there's a way that I need to do it. You know, I'm not focusing on who I am outside of who I was meant to be. I'm only focusing on who I was meant to be. But to get to who you're meant to be, you have to be who you are, not who you want to be, not who you feel like people will accept you as, but who you are. And I was so scared for years because I contemplated that people would not accept me no matter what facade that I put up, no matter how good I was at being myself, nobody would accept me. So I found myself clinging to who I was meant to be instead of living my life and experiencing it as I was. And all these years have passed by and I'm looking at my life and I'm like, I have not experienced anything. I have just pushed. And when you grow up in a home where your mother needs you because your father's a fucking asshole and he doesn't think that you are important or she's important after putting a baby in a woman, when you grow up having to provide for a family because at a young age because someone wasn't there doing their fucking job, you always feel like you need to finish. You always feel like there has to be a finish. You always feel like there needs to be a deadline, like that I can't just live, I can't just experience life, I can't just let myself be free. And when I am being free, I'm doing something wrong. Every time I try and breathe, every time I've tried to breathe these last couple of years, I've always felt like, wow, you are fucking selfish. Wow, you are really going to miss out on your dreams. Wow, you are really going to miss out on your life purpose. I never let myself live. Every day is, will we accomplish? Will we accomplish? Will we accomplish? Like, you know, there are some days where I wake up and I'm like, okay, let's chill. It's an off day, but tomorrow let's get back to it. Like, who can live like that? Who can live in the get back to it, get back to it, get back to it, get back to it? How much are we getting back to? What are we getting back to? Because last time I checked, it's not succeeding. And the crazy thing is, the reason why I'm not succeeding in even the fields that I want to succeed in is because of who I was meant to be. It's always this vision, this hope, this dream that I'll reach this person and I'll finally touch them and everything will be all right. This version of me that's better than everything and better than everyone and I finally am over everything. And it's narcissistic. I was taught narcissism as if it was normal. I was taught narcissism from all these different groups, from family members of all types, all these fucking different family members, as if it was normal. That's narcissism, to be so self-proclaimed, so self-induced, where nothing matters but accomplishment. What about life? And I realized recently that, do you know how many friendships I've lost because all I cared about was the end goal? And it's so crazy for me to reach this analogy on my ex's birthday. Ooh. No, but seriously, I've lost, it's not just the friendships, but it's the sense of freedom in the friendships. Like, it's the desire to experience life. I was taught to not stop and smell the roses. The roses are taking too long to grow. I need to hurry up and get to a point where I can own the roses and own the garden and everything will be mine, and then I can smell them when everything is perfect. I was taught perfection. I grew up around multiple perfectionists. I never had chances or energy to just be me, ever. And I shut a lot of people down, cut a lot of people off. I didn't cut them off. Well, they left me alone because all I cared about was the end goal. So that's why this is important to me. It's important to know who you want who you are right now instead of focusing on who you were meant to be. Life is more than who you were meant to be. That felt really fucking good.